Every fall, the skies above the northeastern United States come alive with movement. Small birds like warblers and barn swallows begin their long journey south, escaping the cold and seeking warmer climates. Some travel only short distances, from places like New York to Pennsylvania, while others, such as the barn swallow, fly thousands of miles to South America. Birds don't migrate at random. They follow ancient, well-established flight paths called flyways, which serve as highways in the sky. Along these routes are essential stopover points, places where birds rest and refuel before continuing their journey. Much like travelers planning a long road trip, birds depend on these rest stops for food and shelter. Without them, the journey becomes perilous. Unfortunately, these vital sites are disappearing or changing because of shifting climates. Birds rely on natural cues like the length of daylight to know when to migrate, not modern forecasts. Yet warming temperatures are altering seasonal patterns. Researchers from Binghamton University are studying these changes and are gathering decades of data on common species like the red-winged blackbird to understand how birds are adapting, or failing to adapt, to these new realities. By piecing together long-term research stretching back generations, they can trace how temperature changes have influenced migration, breeding, and survival. This work is helping to reveal the broader impact of climate change on ecosystems and biodiversity. Another growing threat comes from increasingly extreme weather. As hurricane seasons lengthen and storms intensify, birds crossing vast areas like the Gulf of Mexico face deadly conditions. Even if the weather appears calm in one region, storms elsewhere along migration routes can be catastrophic. A single severe weather event can destroy entire flocks or force exhausted birds far off course, reducing their chances of survival. They're often timing either using day length or temperature, whether where they are, said Anne Clark, Associate Professor Emeritus of Biological Sciences at Binghamton. That's supposed to predict the phenology, the basic reproduction of insects or plants, where they're going, and those can get asynchronized. Shorter-term migrants may be using conditions where they are to predict how good conditions are where they're going. And often, maybe counterintuitively, they want to arrive relatively early before the conditions get too hot and too dry. And if they're using the conditions where they are, they may be either too early or too late with respect to the weather when they get there. Protecting habitats is one of the most effective ways to help. Conservation efforts are now focused on identifying and safeguarding areas that offer the greatest benefit to migrating birds, especially those crucial stopover sites where they can rest and feed. Forests, wetlands, and river corridors are particularly important, as rivers often act as natural highways guiding birds along their paths. Preserving these areas gives migratory species the chance to survive their journeys despite the growing challenges they face. Birds are also indicators of environmental health. Changes in their behavior often signal deeper ecological problems. If birds are struggling to find food, shelter, or suitable climates, it suggests that the broader environment is under stress, a warning sign for humans as well. Migration remains one of nature's most astonishing phenomena. Millions of birds navigate thousands of miles guided by instinct, stars, and magnetic fields, an extraordinary natural rhythm now at risk from human-caused climate disruption. Yet there is hope. Through science, conservation, and public awareness, we can protect the habitats and resources these species depend on. Safeguarding birds means safeguarding our planet's balance. When we protect migration routes and preserve natural habitats, we help maintain biodiversity, strengthen ecosystems, and ensure that future generations can continue to witness the awe-inspiring sight of autumn skies alive with movement. Bird migration tells a larger story about resilience, adaptation, and connection. The choices we make today determine whether these ancient journeys continue. Protecting birds, in the end, means protecting ourselves. Don't stop here. Find out more. Visit the links in the description below for more in-depth information on the stories presented in this video. Or if you are a part of a wildlife organization doing something interesting right now, let us know in the comments.